All right, let's just have a conversation. Let's just talk. Here's where I realized that I went wrong. For so long, I was becoming rather than being. And there's a distinct difference between becoming and being. When you are becoming, you're not yet aligned with the person that you see in the destination. When you are being, when I am being, I am. And that's why we oftentimes find ourselves chasing. Constantly chasing. Because we haven't yet allowed ourselves to align with that person that already has. I remember for a while my name on Instagram was Becoming DeeVine. Because I had this idea in my head of who my higher self was, but I didn't quite feel like I was her yet. I saw her in my visions. I saw her in my dreams. I knew what she looked like. I knew what she dressed like. I knew what she sounded like. I knew what her passions were, her purpose was. I knew all of these things about her, but I wasn't quite her yet. And that is why for so long I was constantly chasing her. And I was constantly chasing all of these things that were in my vortex. For example, the abundance, the love, the trips, the traveling, the support, the following, the community, all of these different things she already had. But me, I lacked. She was abundant. I was living in scarcity. And that was the vast difference between who I was and who I currently am. So here's how I aligned with DeeVine when I was just D. First of all, you got to be real about your shit. Stop being passive in your human experience. You have to be an active party. You have to be the main character, the director, the producer. You got to be the writer of your book. You have to be the author of your book. And as I'm reading my book, I realize DeeVine is confident. I know how she dresses. I know how she shows up in a room. I used to have really bad social anxiety. So when I would go out to these networking events, being an artist, I knew that I needed to network. I knew that I needed to connect. But I struggled to connect because I struggled being. I was constantly overthinking. I was constantly in my head. I was constantly in my way. You have to get out of your way and allow yourself to just be. When you constantly have other people's narratives in your mind about who you are, that takes you away from the essence of being. When you be, you don't think. You just act. You just do. Like Nike, just do it. You just got to do it. And so I made a list. Like sometimes you just gotta get you gotta simplify it. How did I simplify it? You can make a Pinterest board. You can make a vision board. You can pull out your notepad. You can simply make a list. And on this list, I said, first of all, what is her name? She's DeeVine. She's DeeVine. So name her, name him, name them. Whoever they are, name them. Give them a name. Like, name your higher self. Whenever you hear this name should invoke something within you. Something that makes you perk up. Something that makes you sit with your head high and confident. Whenever I hear DeeVine, I am reminded that God exists within me. I am reminded that I hold the power and the control to be, do, and have, and receive. So that is why I am DeeVine. For you, that could be a different name. It's up to you to come up with whatever that name is for you. What does she do? How does she show up in the room? Like I said, DeeVine is confident. She's an artist. She's a healer. She's a leader. She's a thought leader, a thought provoker. And in order for her to be those things, she needed to be seen as such through her lens. And like I said, I could already see her. I knew how she showed up in the room. You know what I'm saying? With her shoulders back and her head high. In her eyes, making eye contact. Not afraid of that. Never intimidated by eye contact. I knew how she walked. I knew how she dressed. I knew how she thought. She didn't think in scarcity. She didn't think in lack. She wasn't afraid to let go of anything because she knew that when she let go and made space, abundance was on the way. So, like I said, you got to be real about your shit. Do you actually want to be supported? Do you actually want a community? Do you actually want fans? Like, how do you want people to view you? And when I say people, you. If you could be a bird, you know what I'm saying, have the bird's eye view in your human experience, how would you want to view yourself? And you have to be honest about that. I have to be honest about, I want to look like money, smell like money, walk like money, talk like money, be money, attract. You know what I'm saying? But not from a space of, like in this capitalistic way, this ego way. But no, because I'm a goddess. Abundance is my birthright. So why wouldn't I look abundant? Why wouldn't I smell abundant? Why wouldn't I act abundant? Why wouldn't I be abundant? We're always calling in money. Why not just be it, have it? We're always calling in abundance. You got to just exist in the essence of abundance. When you exist in the essence of abundance, you're not really calling, you're just being it. It's a constant flow. And I feel like that's where I messed up at. I was becoming this person. I wasn't quite yet her. So one day I woke up and I decided I am. I'm not becoming divine. I am divine. And because I decided that I am divine, I allowed myself to show up every single day as divine. And while some days might not be as divine as others, every day I was consciously operating from my higher self. One thing about when you're on this journey of being, you have to allow yourself to just be. Do not judge yourself. Like the Bible says, right? God does not judge. So who are you to judge a God? God doesn't judge you. God created you. And you are perfect just as you are. And because you are perfect, why are you judging yourself? Why are you not allowing yourself to just be? To simply exist without judgment. And when you allow yourself to do that, you align with the truest, most authentic version of yourself. And the truest, most authentic version of you is the person that already has everything in your vortex. That's the person that's already existing from a space of abundance. That's a person that already has the love, already has the light, already has the money, already has the car, already has the support, the community, the love, the perspective. Already has all of those things. So you have to practice the art of authentic living. And with that, it's going to come with naysayers and all of those things. But we don't care about any of that, because in this realm that we are existing from, that is not the dominant source. The dominant source in this realm is support, is love. It pours in. You have to tell yourself that in this human experience, that is not my reality. Focus your thoughts, focus your mindset, focus your actions, focus your intentions towards that reality. Because wherever your focus is, that's where your energy lies, and that's what you attract. So when you are being, you are attracting all of that because that's just who you are. That's your dominant source. That's your dominant thought. That's your dominant vibration, your dominant frequency. You have to allow yourself to just be. Just be. It's really a complete sentence. B, E, period. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like JT says, period. Or whichever one of them said it. In this daily practice of being, you have to start aligning your lifestyle with the lifestyle of your higher self. My higher self has a morning routine. She has a night routine. She has a self-care routine. She's disciplined. She's consistent. She has a budget. You know what I'm saying? Not from a space of lack, from a space of abundance. She has a budget. And within that budget, she has money to spare. She has love. She has a partner that is loving, that is supportive, that cherishes her. And she reciprocates that energy as well because she is that, which is why she has that. She works for herself. She has businesses, passive income. She's an artist. She makes really dope music that the world loves and support. She has a community of people that love and support and see and be, and reflects the energy that she pours into herself and outwardly into this community. And that brings up a really important thought. And I think this is probably one of the most important things that you can do for yourself when you're on this journey of aligning with the highest version of yourself. Aligning yourself with a community of people that are like-minded and on the same journey as you. So you can stop walking around here feeling like you're crazy, because you're not crazy. You're onto something. But it's time for you to start aligning with other people that are also onto something, that are also being, that also do not judge themselves and view you through the mirror and the lens that they view themselves, which is God. And as gods, we don't narrate on another God living. We just let another God live. Shout out to Journey for that one. When you see a God living, you don't need to narrate. You can celebrate, you can congratulate, you can observe, admire, but you don't need to comment and give your opinions. Look at it and be inspired to allow yourself to also live as well. Because we are all gods and goddesses in our own right. So it's time for you to start living and aligning with the community of people that are also living and being. It's time to get back to being. Get back to living. At some point, you got to allow yourself to heal in a different way. In a way that looks like you living your authentic truth. And that is the beauty of the spiritual Hoochie sanctuary, is that in that community, we are all just living, just being, just connecting and thriving. Because when you have friends, family, and people around you that don't get it, that will start piercing into your paradigm, and you'll start feeling like something is wrong. And nothing is wrong with you. It's just something wrong with your environment. So now you have to start aligning your environment to look the way that it looks in that vision that you saw of your higher self. When you close your eyes and you see your higher self, he is surrounded by people that love and support them, that view them through the lens of God and appreciates them for living their authentic truth and see it and is inspired by it. That's the most important thing that you can do for yourself. And if you don't, unfortunately, have those people around you physically, well, that's the beauty of social media, is that you can align with those people virtually. And in the spiritual Hoochie sanctuary, we have a community, we have a group chat, we have a membership where we align with each other virtually, and we meet once a month to just hang out, just talk, just vent. Sometimes you just need to vent outside of all the noise, in a space where we all just allow ourselves to vent and speak our truths without the outside opinions. If anything, people help us get to the root of it. And at the root of it, you realize, I just need to be. I just need to exist and live and allow myself to do that without this narrative that something is wrong. Because when you do that, that's when everything just falls into place. You're no longer looking for it because it's just there. It exists in that realm. So I welcome you to the realm where we just be, we exist, and we live. I'm DeeVine, your favorite sensual, spiritual rap goddess, the spiritual Hoochie, and I invite you to join us in the spiritual Hoochie sanctuary, where spirituality and sensuality intertwines. Peace.